We know it's common for health concerns to be comorbid with behavior cases. In fact, studies show that up to 80% of cases involving aggressive behavior have an underlying physical health component, most likely to be orthopedic or gastrointestinal. And it's important to understand that in most of these situations, it's not a direct link. For example, the dog has an ear infection, you touch their ear, they bite, you resolve the ear infection, the dog does not bite. In most cases, what we're talking about is that these underlying physical health conditions are creating a smaller window of tolerance, they're contributing to chronic stress, they're lowering resilience to stress, they're interfering with the dog's ability to self-regulate, they're lowering the threshold for aggressive behavior or other behavioral responses. Aggressive behavior tends to be the one that gets our attention. But unfortunately, this isn't as simple as just going to the vet and having a physical exam. Sometimes that's the case, but often we have to do deeper digging. And there are many reasons that this is often a longer process, but one of those reasons is that we need to gather data. And data can't always be gathered quickly, at least not good data. I'll give you an example. My German Shepherd Shadow used to struggle with car rides. He would hop in the car willingly, but once in the car would whine, often the whole time, potentially for hours. Sometimes it was worse than others. Sometimes he could just lay quietly. We finally got around to trialing an anti-nausea medicine, and I was immediately kicking myself for not doing it sooner. Without any additional behavior modification, he's now quiet as a mouse on car rides. But it's taken several weeks of many car rides to figure out that when he takes the medication on an empty stomach, it kicks in really quickly. Even if I forgot to give it to him and give it to him 15 to 30 minutes before the car ride, if he takes it on an empty stomach, that will work. But if he takes it with his breakfast, 2 hours. And no less. He needs at least 2 hours. And you can see how if I had given the medication with his breakfast the first time we tried it out as instructed, which was 1 hour before the car ride was the instruction, I might think, oh, it didn't work. But what I would have actually been seeing is that he just needed longer for it to kick in when he took it with a full tummy. Pain medication can be the same way. We can't just give pain medication as a single dose or a couple of days, or even ideally not just for a week or two, because we need to see the impact over many days, over ideally many weeks, so that instead of having just this one pinprick of a data point, we have a whole constellation. And that's not even accounting for the fact that sometimes the first medication we try is not the medication. You can try a pain medication and it's just the wrong medication or it's the wrong dose.